Welcome back to another episode of Nothing But That B-Ball Talk podcast. I'm Rafique Louison alongside Carl Louison. Your eyes do not deceive you. This guy is wearing the Miami Heat Vice City jersey that Dwayne Wade was rocking all season long.
It was crazy. I said,
how do you feel about your boy playing his final few weeks of the season?
Oh man, it's bittersweet. Dwayne Wade's my favorite player of all time. I've been watching him since he was at Marquette. I actually fell in love with his game watching him in the Final Four. It's like, man, he plays on a different level. So when he went to the Heat, I was actually really happy because they needed someone playing the 1-2 position. Watching his career has been awesome. You know, what really separates his career from a lot of other guys that we liked growing up was he had success really early. He won a championship in his third season. He had one of the greatest finals performances ever. And, you know, watching him team up with LeBron, Heatles, the Big Three, that was an awesome experience. Watching them, you know, lose and then work their way up to win a championship 2 consecutive years and 2 great finals appearances as well. You know, he just had a great year, a great career, and a great year, great season, great final dance as he called it. And it was kind of awesome to see it kind of end in Brooklyn too, you know, because, you know, we're from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Brooklyn's our team. So it was awesome to see that his last game was in Brooklyn. It was even more awesome to see LeBron, Melo, and CP courtside to congratulate him and then him giving Melo his final jersey. So, you know, kudos to D Wade, all-time great player, probably top 3 all-time shooting guards, definitely top 20 players of all time.
There'll never be another guy like Dwayne Wade, especially since he hit that one-legged game-winning shot against the Golden State Warriors about the goal.
That was awesome. He just had a great final season.
Yeah, you'll never find another guy like Dwayne Wade, especially since he's won 3 championships, 1 with Shaquille O'Neal, 2 with LeBron James. Speaking of championships, the NBA playoffs is just around the corner. Matter of fact, it's starting tomorrow.
That's right.
Well, for those of you that already know, we got some serious matchups. This is an NBA playoff that I don't really expect to see. Like, we know the top 5 teams are in the playoffs already, but the bottom 3 in the Eastern Conference, we never really get to see. We never really thought we'd see these teams in the playoffs.
Right.
The Orlando Magic haven't been in the playoffs since 2012. In their first playoff appearance with Evan Fournier, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Vucevic, Terrence Ross, and I can go on and on and on, but what are your impressions about the 2019 Orlando Magic making the playoffs?
So the Orlando Magic are, first and foremost, you know, credit to them. They made the playoffs, and I think defensively, since the All-Star break, they've been like one of the best teams defensively, so that's really catapulted their success. Steve Clifford is a great coach. I'm not sure why Charlotte fired him a couple years ago. He's a really good coach. He's one of those guys that optimizes minimum talent. So he doesn't have the best players on his team, but he gets maximum effort out of those players. But if we're just being 100% honest, they're only making it because the Wizards didn't make it.
Because the Wizards didn't make it?
Like
really?
Come on, if John Wall's healthy, regardless of the Wizards have a better season than last year, a good season, the Wizards are making it because Bradley Beal and John Wall are good enough to get you to the playoffs. So the only reason Orlando's really making it is because those guys are injured, because John Wall's injured. But that being said, still props and credit to Orlando Magic, because you got to win the games. You know, a lot of other teams didn't win the games, so they did win their games to make it in, and they're a good team.
Exactly.
They're gonna get destroyed.
Yeah, Toronto is going to just steamroll these guys. Sorry, Orlando. You're not playing the Toronto Raptors until 2008 when you had Dwight Howard and Hito Turkoglu. Do you remember that series?
No.
Oh, yeah. I know a lot of people forgotten about that series.
Absolutely.
Especially, they forgot the fact that Chris Bosh did not come up clutch in Game 2.
Jeez,
they forgot about the fact that game that ended in 5. The series ended in 5 games in 2008. Orlando was one of the biggest problems to the Eastern Conference at the time. Yeah. Right now, all they have is Evan Fournier, Mo Bamba.
I wouldn't even say they have one guy.
Evan Fournier is a legit shooting guard. What do you think about this guy?
I think he's a good player, but I don't think they have one guy. I think what they do really well is they play good as a team and they play good team defense. So that's what allows them to kind of go under the radar because they play good team offense and good team defense. I think Fournier is a good player. In the grand scheme of great NBA players, he's not up there. In the grand scheme of best players in the game today, he's not up there. But that doesn't take away from his skill. He's a good player.
Do you see the Orlando Magic actually developing from this season going forward?
No, I don't. I think this year...
You think it's a one-hit wonder?
Yeah, it's a one-hit wonder.
I mean, I don't blame you.
It's a one-hit wonder.
People sleep on the Orlando Magic. Nobody talked about the possibility of Orlando Magic getting to the NBA Finals, or at least the Conference Finals. Nobody talked about that.
Well, we could barely talk about them getting to the playoffs. They're a surprise. I think it's a one and done for them. You got to think again. Washington. Well, John Wall might actually be out next year, so Washington might not be back. So you know what? Maybe they make it again next year. They might make it again next year.
But whatever it is, welcome back to the playoffs, Orlando, Detroit, and Brooklyn.
Yes.
We got to get to Detroit. What are your impressions about the Detroit Pistons in 2019?
Detroit Pistons are a decent team with what looks like a great head coach. Dwayne Casey is an exceptional coach. He's really good. But their team has flaws. Reggie Jackson, in the grand scheme of point guards, is not that good. He's not a lead point guard. Andre Drummond is good at what he does, but that's all he does. He rebounds and he puts the ball back in the rim with a dunk. He has nothing else to really offer. Blake Griffin's had a phenomenal season. He's basically been their MVP. Not basically. He has been their MVP, and he's carried them. I think them getting Wayne Ellington around the trade deadline was a big pickup because they had no perimeter shooting. I think he helps them a lot, but they're so in for a transfer.
Exactly.
They have
Imagine,
no chance. And Blake is injured. They have no chance. They have no chance whatsoever.
They're gonna get steamrolled by the Greek Freak.
Yeah,
I mean,
easily.
Milwaukee is having the best season in franchise history.
Yes.
Detroit, I'm sorry, these guys are not ready for them.
No, not at all.
Why are you even in the playoffs? You only got in because Miami faded out in their final season, the Dwayne Wade era. They faded out, and Charlotte could not get in.
The thing with Charlotte, I'm gonna touch on Charlotte. Charlotte is the weirdest team. Charlotte's never bad enough. They're never the Knicks, or they're never the Suns, but they're never good enough to really be in the playoffs. So they're always stuck in this middle, like we almost made it. We had a chance to make it. That's the worst position to be in.
You don't want to be in that position at all.
No, because you're not getting a high draft pick.
No.
You're not going to the playoffs. So what are you doing? You're not going anywhere.
They're probably working their way up.
But they never make it up.
Exactly.
But then they never work their way down.
And not to mention, the furthest they ever gone was Game 7 in 2016 first round series against the Miami Heat. By the way, Dwayne Wade's last playoff series win of his career.
He came up big.
Yeah, he really did. In Game 6.
Yeah,
you remember that performance?
Oh, yeah. Huge.
I thought Charlotte had these guys, but they just... Oh, man. Charlotte, you're messing with the veterans, fam. And this is exactly what... I'm glad you did not make the playoffs because you would have gotten in and been in the position to get steamrolled by a Milwaukee Bucks team.
Facts.
Now we get to the big surprise. The Brooklyn Nets.
The Brooklyn Nets.
Welcome back to the playoffs,
Brooklyn.
And look where we're sitting at. Look where we at.
Brooklyn.
Oh God, Brooklyn. They played basketball for the first time since 2015.
It's true. Shout out to the Brooklyn Nets.
When they were losing 8 in a row, highlighted by late-second losses to the Philadelphia 76ers, the Thunder, and the lottery-bound Cavaliers, losing in double overtime to Memphis.
Yeah.
Nobody talked about Brooklyn being in the playoffs. D'Angelo Russell is out of his mind.
He's playing really well.
Averaging 21 points and nearly 10 assists.
I don't know, 10, 7, but close enough.
Yeah, I said nearly.
Right.
He is the most improved player in my opinion.
Yes.
After not going nowhere with the Los Angeles Lakers due to lack of chemistry he had with the team and the lack of discipline he had for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
This is amazing. What are your best moments of the 2019 Brooklyn Nets?
The best moments? I'll say this. I don't think I have one game where it's like I can say that's the best moment. What's really been good to watch the Nets is if you've been watching them the last couple seasons, they've been terrible to watch. There are a lot of times you have bad teams, but they're fun to watch. You know, it happens. Like these guys aren't playing particularly well, but they play these guys aren't winning, but they're playing a good style or entertaining style. The Nets style of basketball for the past couple seasons has been terrible to even watch. It's been hard to be a fan of. To see them make that change at the start of the season, to see Caris LeVert come out the gate, almost averaging, not almost averaging, he's averaging about 20-something points, looking like a future all-star. Then to see him go down, so you know what, to retract that, I think the best moments of the Nets is just their resilience. Caris LeVert is a guy who was slept on.
Exactly.
Slept on. Nobody
talked about Caris LeVert coming up clutch.
Yeah. But not only that, but he was injured in college. He was supposed to actually be a lottery pick. He gets injured about twice when he's in college. He ends up falling to the end of the first round. The Nets pick him up. It's kind of like a throwaway pick. Like if he pans out, he pans out. His first couple seasons, he's injured again. This season starts off, he's averaging 20 points. He's looking like a future all-star. You're like, okay, we finally have our guy. Then he gets injured. And it's like, oh man, Caris, now what we're gonna do? Here comes D'Angelo Russell. He's having this
carried
breakout
the
season.
team on his back.
He just strapped up and carried the team. It was awesome to see. So I won't say there's one particular thing, but I think on a whole, just seeing the Nets' resilience and seeing their growth has been awesome. It's really awesome because a couple of seasons ago, this was the worst team in the NBA. They were the laughing stock. Like,
Exactly.
Everything I've always heard was, oh man, remember they had that terrible trade? Look what happened to that trade. Like, they were able to turn their franchise around without having a number one pick, without controlling their lottery picks. So Sean Marks, executive of the year, executive of our lifetime. Thank you for restoring the Brooklyn Nets. And even though I don't think we have any chance of beating the Philadelphia 76ers,
but they can at least go 7 games with the 76ers.
you think so?
Yes, I can.
Why
yes,
you
I
think
do. They have that perseverance.
They do have
They know how to find smart shots when they have only 2 seconds to shoot. They came back from 28 points down to beat Sacramento.
That's true.
The biggest comeback in Brooklyn Nets history. On the flip side, the biggest collapse in Sacramento Kings history.
The Kings are collapsing themselves.
They beat a Houston Rockets team on the road when they were fresh off going to Game 7 of the conference finals against the Golden State Warriors, despite the fact that that game had the most combined 3-point attempts in NBA history. So many 3-pointers being shot in that game, including Spencer Dinwiddie coming up clutch to force overtime.
I wouldn't know about fresh off of going against Golden State. That's like a whole year ago. But I feel you.
They beat a lot of good teams.
They did.
They swept the number 2 seed in the Western Conference.
They won both games against the Nuggets?
Yeah, they did. Karis LeVert's game winner. And they blew them out in early February.
Everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, a lot of the analysts I've been watching have been saying that the Nets have a chance. I don't see it, but I hope I'm wrong. I'm totally okay with being wrong. I hope they have a chance. I hope it's a competitive series. I just think that Philadelphia is just stacked with talent. The talent is through the roof.
Come on, man. You had Joel Embiid, you got Ben Simmons, you got JJ Redick, you got TJ McConnell, the guy that hit the game-winning shot against the New York Knicks back in early 2017.
Oh, TJ McConnell?
TJ McConnell, yeah. That shot was ridiculous. The spinning around and shot it.
That's just the Knicks fan in you trying to remember that. The Knicks are terrible. Let's not even talk about that. Move on.
Yeah. Philadelphia is going to be a big problem for the Brooklyn Nets. Even if Joel Embiid does not play in Game 1.
Yeah.
I still got the Nets lasting 7 games. They're
going 7 games?
Yes. Come on. Look at all those comebacks the Nets had this season. When they choked to the Charlotte Hornets, D'Angelo Russell woke them up. 7
games with Philadelphia. Where? I don't see it. Like, so let's say Embiid doesn't play, then they move Simmons to the 5, and they move McCollum to the 1. TJ McCollum, sorry. They move him to the 1. Then that means Jared Allen has to guard Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, even though he can't shoot, so Jared Allen wouldn't have to come out and guard the perimeter. He's gonna dance circles around him, and he can still pull him away from the rim. Like I hope you're right. I just don't see it. I can't see how Brooklyn goes 7, but I hope I'm wrong. Brooklyn, prove me wrong. Let's go 7. Yeah. Let's win.
Let's yeah. You got to win this series. Now that we got to the surprise team for the Eastern Conference, we pretty much already picked our matchups for the Eastern Conference side of the playoffs. We got how many games we got Milwaukee and Detroit going?
4.
Yeah, they're gonna sweep the Detroit Pistons.
4. Hold on, before you go on, I don't cut you off. You really just gonna gloss over Indiana and Boston like that? So who do you have in Indiana and Boston? Let's go. That's 1-8.
I was gonna get to that.
All right, so let's do the order. So you got 1-8. We're both saying Milwaukee wins, right?
Yeah.
So that's 4-5. Who wins between Boston and Indiana?
That's gonna be a toss-up. We know no matter what, it's gonna go 7 games. But
you think it's gonna go 7 games?
Yes. 4 and 5 matchups are meant to go 7 games. I got Boston pulling it off. There's no way that Indiana Pacers is going to beat the Boston Celtics without Victor Oladipo.
I agree with that. I just don't think it goes 7.
You don't think it's going to... Do you see how far they went with the Cavaliers last year?
Who, Indiana?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cavs are terrible.
Yeah, you did make a good point. But now that they have Kyrie Irving playing for the Boston Celtics, imagine getting past up in 7 games. Okay, to be fair, 6 games.
All right, I'm going to go 5. Boston and 5. So we both got Milwaukee. Then the next one is we both have Boston. So the 2-7, that's Toronto versus
Orlando. That's a no-brainer. Like literally, Toronto. Even though the Magic did get 2 games for them in the regular season, The Orlando Magic will learn the hard way that that's just regular season.
Yeah.
Toronto is gonna put up all the stops.
Yeah.
With an MVP NBA Finals guy in Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry. Marc Gasol. And Jeremy Lin.
Gotta get Jeremy. But yeah, they win easily.
Yeah.
So now we go to the 3-6, which is
the Nets and the Philly. I got Philly winning in 7 games.
I got Philly winning regardless. I don't know how many games it goes Philly. So now we're talking about the 1-8. That's Milwaukee against Boston. Who wins?
Milwaukee and Boston. Well,
It's tough.
Boston did beat them last year, but I'm about to give it to the team that has home court advantage, being the Griffins going to get redemption for that first round loss last year.
I'm gonna go with Milwaukee. So here's the thing. Boston, by all intents and purposes, should be the best team in the Eastern Conference. Coming off of last season. They went to the conference finals. They went to 7 games with Cleveland without Kyrie Irving, without Gordon Hayward. They get Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward back, and they just haven't put it together. So I wanted to say that based on my knowledge, they are the best team, so therefore they should go. But I can't see it happening. I think Milwaukee wins too.
Yeah, and then you get to the other matchup. Philadelphia versus Toronto.
Ooh, I think that's gonna be the best matchup in the Eastern Conference playoffs. And I think the winner of that goes to the finals.
No question about that. That's going to be a toss-up. We're going to have to make our predictions as the playoffs roll along. Now we get to the we can't really make our predictions to the conference finals yet because we haven't really.
I mean, we can make predictions, but we'll save that for a different podcast. So let's go to the Western Conference.
The Western Conference is clearly stacked. Golden State versus LA Clippers. Who you got winning that series?
Golden State in 2. It's not even close. It's Golden State.
But the Clippers have been persevered as well. Lou Williams carried them on their back, having buzzer beaters against Milwaukee and Brooklyn.
Lou Williams is a phenomenal bench player. He's one of the greatest 6 men we've ever seen. They have no shot at beating Golden State.
You don't think?
They won't win a quarter.
You got a point.
They're not going to win a quarter.
Now we get to the 3-6 matchup. Houston versus Oklahoma City Thunder.
No, that's incorrect. The 3-6 is going to be Portland versus Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, Portland versus Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
Excuse me for saying that. What do you think's going to win this matchup?
Here's the thing. I love the Blazers. I think Terry Stotts is the most underrated coach in basketball. I think he is top 5 coaches in the NBA easily. Damian Lillard is often overlooked when talking about great point guards, but he's one of the few point guards who literally has carried his team during the regular season, and we've seen him carry his team in the postseason. The problem is their team is so perimeter oriented that you know how to defend against them. Just load up on the perimeter. You saw that happen to them last year. Drew Holiday completely shut down Damian Lillard, and Portland had nothing. CJ McCollum's injury going into the playoffs. Yusuf Nurkic is not going to play at all. As much as Oklahoma City's been up and down, at the start, if you remember the very first podcast we did for the season, I said OKC's going to the conference finals. I'm not going to go back on that, so I say OKC beats Portland in 5 or 6.
Yeah, that's literally true. Then we get to another intense matchup. The Denver Nuggets. Who you think's will win that Denver Nuggets series?
That one's tough. You got the team with all the experience in the world against a team with 0 playoff experience. And the Nuggets have played really well this season, both offensively and defensively. They're loaded. They have a full roster with guys who would all score. That one, I have to see how game 1 goes. It's hard to predict because I don't know if the moment's going to be too big for Denver. Because if the moment's too big for them, where they're kind of like, man, we're here in the playoffs, San Antonio's going to run over them.
And not to mention, San Antonio owns them in the playoffs.
They have, yeah. So to give a prediction, I'm gonna go San Antonio. San Antonio in 7.
Oh, we going upset with this one.
Yeah, upset. San Antonio.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Now, who do you think wins the 4 or 5 matchup in the Western Conference?
That's a tough first round series. Utah's defense is really good, and I love Donovan Mitchell. I think he's next up, but Houston's too good. I have to see. Houston has to lose for me to think they're gonna lose. The only team we've really seen beat Houston is Golden State. So I gotta say, so long as Chris Paul and James Harden stay healthy, Houston finds a way to win.
Yeah, Houston has had an incredible season too, especially with all those 50-point games. They highlight all these 50-point games that we've seen all season long.
Yeah, James Harden's had a great season.
Yeah, that is just insane. Now, we get to the NBA draft lottery.
Okay.
Who do you think is going to win the draft lottery?
Well, it is a lottery, so it's hard to say who's going to win it. It's kind of been suspicious over the years. It's not quite the lottery it's supposed to be. I know the Knicks want to win it. I don't know if the NBA is invested in the Knicks winning it. I'll say this. Instead of saying who I think is going to win it, I think the team that Zion Williamson would probably best benefit from going to, believe it or not, would be the Atlanta Hawks. I worry about him going to the Knicks because the Knicks have no direction. So having a star player doesn't mean anything if your team doesn't have any direction. I worry about him going to the Bulls because the Bulls are a terrible franchise, much like the Knicks are a terrible franchise. Atlanta seems to be on the up. They got some really good young pieces in Trae Young and John Collins and Kevin Huerter. They're kind of building this like Golden State Eastern Conference style where we're up and down the court, we're shooting the ball a lot. And I think he plugs in perfectly at either the 4 or the 3. So I think the best team for Zion Williamson is probably going to be Atlanta. I don't know if they win it,
last episode.
But yeah, I think Atlanta's the best place for him.
Yeah, I mean, imagine him teaming up with LeBron James or Lakers.
The Lakers have a chance too since they're not going to the playoffs, so they have a chance of getting him too. I don't think he's a good fit in LA. I think he's a bit of a...
Yeah, that is going to be a big problem.
Yeah.
Well, that is it with another episode, Nothing But That People Talk podcast. I can't wait to watch some intense NBA playoff action. Welcome back to the playoffs, Brooklyn, Orlando, and Detroit. Dwayne Wade, I wish you a good retirement. Get your head in the game to all the big balls out there.
He kept it short this time.